Wonderful. Good to see you all. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I think is really important for everybody these days. And it's all about how to be more productive when working from home. Isn't it like always a challenge during COVID when you're working from home and things get in the way or your energy is low? And the question is, how do we actually can be more productive when we work from home? And so before we get into that, quick intro if you don't know me yet. My name is Lisa Windfield. I'm a certified high performance coach, and I help women to accomplish more while also being more fulfilled and really performing at their best. So let's jump right in. So productivity, let's talk about first what productivity is not. Productivity is not about doing more. That's a common perception, right? Like doing more and getting the long to-do lists done, feeling accomplished to check off all the things. Productivity is really about getting clear what it is that you actually want in life or for this week, and then doing exactly that and really doing the most important things that matter to your life vision, to your biggest goals, and cutting the rest. So it's about really clarity, and it's about doing the most important things and not everything. So let's jump into that. And if you feel like you want to talk through, your specific situation, if there's a lot going on, you can schedule a session with me, a one-on-one strategy session to discuss, your most important topics, and we can get together and do a free coaching session. Now, let's dive right into that. So in terms of productivity, the first step is clarity, right? To get really clear on what you really want. So it's very important to have your annual goals laid out. So really getting, 3 to 5 annual goals or more if you want. And then breaking them down into quarterly goals and then monthly goals, and really deciding on those things every week. I sit down every Sunday and decide, what are the things I want to accomplish this week? So what are my goals for the week, right? Not just tasks. And then under these goals, I list the tasks that will help me to get those goals. And so that's really the first step, right? Getting clarity. The second tip so I have 5 tips today. The second tip is really to block time. And I think we talked about that last time a little bit as well in how to plan your week to have the most energy. So it's really important that you have a system that will help you to be really productive, a system that really is your go-to. And so what we want to do is block time for emails and social media. So it's not randomly at any time you're reactive. Oh, another email. Let me check in with Tom real quick on Instagram. No, it's like scheduling that time and say, every day at 8:30, I check my emails, at 11:30, at 6 p.m. But that's it, not in between. And when you have that time scheduled for your most important project as well, then you really are focused and, don't browse around. It's just really that time to focus on that one task. And then we also want to take breaks every hour. So that's kind of like the next piece. So we want to block time for all the most important projects. So when you say, let's say you have a really big project you want to organize, or maybe a bad example, you want to create a big presentation for a company. And so blocking the time out, you say okay, every day I want to block out 2 hours for that. And then basically you have that in the calendar, and random meetings and little phone calls and email get scheduled around it. But we want to always focus on the outcome first, right? On the things you actually want to produce, the things you want to accomplish. So schedule it in, schedule your projects, and that's really important. And then during the time, then not getting distracted, really knowing that I give myself 50 minutes to do this. I have my on my phone, I have a timer, 50 minutes. When the alarm goes off, we are gonna take a break, and I'll go into that as well, how we can take effective breaks. And I know that can be, really hard. So we'll talk about how to actually create that habit change as well. So the third tip is really to take hourly breaks and to set the timer, as I said, whenever it goes off, every 50, 60, or 70 minutes, and then it's really necessary because the most productive people in this world, there was a big research, take breaks every 52 minutes. So knowing that, we want to take breaks about every 50 minutes and just go, don't do a long break, just, 2 or 3 minutes, stretch, drink water, do something, run around the garden or something like that, pet the cat, and then come back and, be refreshed. And then sit down and really focusing on the next 50 minutes, set an intention. What's my intention for the next 50 minutes? And go. And, really just focusing on that piece. And I know habit change, as I mentioned, can be hard, right? Like actually following through, and that's where coaching comes in. So if you feel like you want to really explore high performance coaching, you can schedule a strategy session with me. We can talk one-on-one what your goals are and see if it's a good fit. So you can schedule that in the link that I put in my post as well. And let's talk about tip number 4. It's about scheduling less meetings. And I'm talking to, especially to my consulting friends here, because I was in consulting and I know exactly how we all love meetings. And I think many companies, it's not just consulting, where especially during these times where we have less connection, we can feel that being productive is about having a lot of meetings and, discussing things. And then, often at 3 or 4 p.m., we realize, oh my God, I still have to do that deck. I still have to do that, whatever you have to do. And it gets pushed to the end of the day when we finally quiet down and get to work on the outputs. But that's sort of like backwards. So we want to make sure we reduce meetings as much as possible. And really, there's a lot of communication that can be handled over Slack or over email. So really narrowing it down and saying, like, do I need to be in this meeting? Or can my colleague go and send me a summary in 3, sentences? So that's the other piece, right? Reducing meetings, because what happens in meetings? So we go and it's actually pretty energy draining. So we have, a Zoom meeting with a lot of people on there. And then, so we have that video and talking a lot. And after the Zoom meeting, we feel accomplished. We feel like we did something. So we're going to take, a long break, and we're actually exhausted and the energy drops and we're less productive. But in reality, we didn't do any work. We had conversations, but now we have to go do the output, right? So reducing meetings helps us to keep the energy higher. So number 5, what's really important for working at home? Let's talk about that. Boundaries with family. And I know like a lot of you have kids, that's like especially challenging, right? But even with your partner and anybody else, right? Like I had a guy coming in the other day with fixing our fridge and it was all over the place and I was interrupted and I had to kind of figure out where to go and work. So setting boundaries with family, setting boundaries so you can focus. And so how do we do that? So for example, my husband knows when I coach, cannot come in. I have my room. There is no way he's allowed to enter because it's all confidential. So we have those rules in place just so we can get both our work done. But then we also schedule lunch. We have calendar invites for each other where we have lunch every day together because I want to hang out with him. So don't interrupt me, but then I make time to actually connect. And the same is with taking breaks. I love to take like long walks in the afternoon or jump in the pool and do that together. So, and that can only happen when we are productive during the rest of the time, right? Otherwise, you don't want to take a long break if you actually didn't get much done. At least I don't feel like it. So I make sure I'm productive for the rest of the time. Yeah, and so discussing when to take breaks together and knowing also that if you feel that there is, even more challenging situations, something that you really want to discuss and bring up with me or want help with additional accountability support, you can schedule a free session with me. The link is in the post and really like talk through what are your goals and how to get you there. So that's always available for you as well. And until then, really honor your time. Life is short. We want to really make the most out of it. And for me, that's what productivity is all about. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, drop me a note in whatever Instagram or email or on our website. And I'll see you guys next week again on Wednesday at 1 p.m. And have a good one. And until then, really stay productive. Bye-bye.